Hello and welcome back. I am Matt Taylor and this is my variety channel bringing you another Elden Ring tutorial. And today I'm going to show you how to get to the best rune farm location in Elden Ring. You can get like so many runes, probably 60 to 70k runes per minute. Pretty awesome. And so we want to start here in Liurnia of the Lakes, and I'm going to start over here at the Folly Grace. I do have an earlier video that shows you how to get to this location super early in the game. Like you can come here right away if you wanted to at level 9. I'm a little bit higher level, but there's this little island that we want to get to right here, and that's where the NPC Vari is. And we're going to get to him because he's going to give us some quests that we need to use. So I'm just going to fast travel over here to Folly on the Lake. And I'm not gonna speed this video up a whole lot, just so people don't get lost. But here we are at Liurnia of the Lakes. I'm gonna hop on my horse and travel on over to that island. And so we'll just cruise. It's pretty much just northwest, almost due north from that Grace. And you can speed up this video if you want. I'll probably speed it up just a little bit. So go on over there. If any of these Albinaurics follow you, then you might want to kill them. But if you just go right past them, they shouldn't follow you too much. But if you get off your horse like I did, and don't run straight to the guy in the front of the chapel, then they're going to follow you. And you'll probably want to kill them. Otherwise, they're just going to get in the way. But they're pretty easy to kill. Alright, and then just go over to the front of this little broken down church. And there is Vari. So talk to him. He was at the very beginning of the game, if you remember. And so just go through his dialogue here and then just say they didn't seem right. And just go through the dialogue. And then keep talking him to exhaust the dialogue. And then he's going to give you this festering bloody finger. And you're going to have to use it to invade other worlds and to fight those other people in the other world. You have to do this 3 times. And in order to do this, you do have to be playing online. You can't do this if you're not playing online, so you do have to play online. And then just keep talking to him. And then if you go into your items, you'll find inventory, you'll find that festering bloody finger that he gave you, and you're going to use that to invade. So just find it down here and click on that. He gave you 8 of them, which should be plenty. Hit use and then attempt to invade another world. And then once you invade, you'll be in that same kind of area, and then you have to find the host. And sometimes it can be a little difficult, but usually they're pretty close to where you're at. Sometimes they're not, so you have to search for them. But here's these guys over here fighting. I'm going to go up there. They're fighting each other actually, so I invaded another. And now we're going to go ahead and fight this guy. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's not going to affect you. You're not going to lose your runes or anything, so don't worry about that. You can try to beat him if you want. I'm really low level, so I'm going to get my butt handed to me. A couple hits. I'm toast. And then that'll just take you back to your world. Again, you're not going to lose your runes, so don't worry about that. So just return, and then you're going to, again, do this 2 more times. If you just talk to him, he's going to say, try to use the finger again. Even though you already used it, you need to do it more. Again, it'll take 3 times. So just try to invade another time. Hit use on it. And then invade another world. Alright, here we are again, and this is a little bit different location of Liurnia of the Lakes. And there's that little icon right up there on the map. You see it? Oh, right at me. And then just try to fight them. Again, you can just let it whop you. You don't even have to fight it if you don't want to. Just let them whack you and kill you. Or you can try to beat them. Totally up to you. You do get a prize. If you do beat them, you do get a little something something. So it's worth it to try to beat him if you want, but again, it doesn't really matter. And again, my character is really low level at this point, so I don't really have a chance against this person. I do get a couple hits on him and almost get this person, but I really didn't do that well. I didn't really take my flask or anything, so I should have taken my flask, but I didn't really care about it. And death. And then do this one more time. One more time. Gotta invade. Because if you try to talk to him again, it'll just tell you the same thing. Be sure and try that finger. So let's do that one more time. Click on the bloody festering finger. Hit use. And then do it one more time. Again, like I said, you don't have to worry about killing the character at all. And if you're having trouble finding them, just look for that on the map up there. That little location will tell you the way to go. I can see that person over there just roaming around. And just run over there and either just let them kill you instantly or try to fight them, up to you. Two hits, and he wallops me. But again, this location that we're going to is really awesome to get there super early in the game, because you can just rune farm and level up, and it'll make the early parts of the game easier. But you don't have to farm in this game at all either. Okay, and then he's going to go through his dialogue, and then once you go through his dialogue, he's going to ask you a question if you want to serve Luminary Moog, however you pronounce his name, and just say, anoint me. He's going to give you this cloth, and you need to soak it in Maiden's blood. Now, this is a clever way that they did this to get you to go back to the very beginning of the game when we got killed by that first boss. This is a clever way to get you over there again, which is really cool. So where we need to go is to the 4 belfries. And the 4 belfries is right over here on this little mountain up here. And so to get there, I'm going to go from that Northern Grace, and go right up here. And then once there, I'm going to just hop on my horse and run on over there to the top. And you can see it right there, that mountain right in front of us. That big tall mountain. You can see the belfries up top. And that's where we want to go, up there. And there are a variety, there's 3 different portals up there. And we are going to want to take the first one nearest the top. There is going to be a chest that we open to get us a imbued key. And then right there, the one that I'm looking at right there, that is the one that we want. So go ahead and walk on down there. And use that key. Examine it, use the imbued key. And then we use that, and then that opens up the portal. And just click on that portal, and it's going to take you to the Chapel of Anticipation. This might look familiar. This was at the beginning, very beginning of the game. And then just run on over here, and we're going to get ready and go through that area to fight that Scion. Scion. I'm going to put on my physic. And then just because I can, I'm going to, I think I'm going to use a little bit of grease here. Awesome. And travel through the mist. And there is that Scion that killed us at the very beginning of the game. Who knows, maybe you beat him. But we're going to just fight this thing. You can fight him however you want. And like I mentioned earlier, that you can come here as early as like being at level 9, but you will probably have a hard time killing this at level 9. So you may want to wait till you're a little bit higher level before you come here and you have some better weapons and such. But he's not super difficult with a few better weapons and a little bit higher level. And then the Grafted Scion is defeated, and you get his weapon and shield, which are pretty cool. I don't ever use them, but they're good if you want to use that sort of thing. And now we're going to go up here to this little castle area. Run on up in there. So at the beginning of the game, you were in there, but you couldn't do anything. You couldn't interact with the maiden that was in there. But that's actually where you started, was up here in this, if you remember correctly. So here is this maiden, and you're just going to click on her, and then you can dye your cloth in the blood. That's what you need. Now we're just going to fast travel back. I'm going to go to the Folly on the Lake. That's just the closest grace to Vare, the NPC that we need to return to. And then hop on your horse and let's travel on back over to him. I'm just going to put this little marker. It just makes it a little bit easier, but it's pretty much just almost due north. And if you just avoid those Albinaurics altogether, they won't follow you at all. And here we are, right back here. I'll just talk to him again. Yeah, so he'll want you to offer the finger. What you'll do is he's going to give you this. You have to talk to him again. So he's going to give you the Pure Blood Knight's Medal, and that's what we need to transport us over to the Mohgwyn Palace. And normally you would not go here this early in the game because this Mohgwyn Palace location is so incredibly difficult. Normally you'd get there way later on in the game, but we're going to get there to do some farming. So just go into your items and you'll find that Pure Blood's Knight Medal and just click on it and then hit use. And then it'll ask you if you want to go over there to the grounds, and you just say yes, and you'll be transferred over to Mohgwyn Palace. Now you're going to come over here. You're going to go northeast. Just follow the path I'm doing. You can skip some of this stuff that I'm going to do, but I'm just going to pick up some loot along the way. There's this spiritual dude that's super powerful, and he'll kill you in 2 shots. So don't hang around. Just move quickly. And if you want to pick up some spare loots along the way, you can. There's some good loots and some upgrades that you can get that will help you early on in the game, especially if you came here really, really early on. But just be very careful in this location. See, there is a Sombering 7, or not a Smithing 7, excuse me, and a Golden Rune 12. So it is definitely worth it to pick up some of these loots. But you can skip it and just follow this location, and we're going to get up to the area that we want to be. And this little area right here with all these Albinaurics is a little good farming area as well, because each one of those is worth 2,000 runes. But what you want to do is you want to get this grace, and then you're going to rest at it. And you don't have to do anything, just get right back up, and then you can pull out a bow. I use a long bow, and just shoot that bird down there. Try to hit it through that little C formation in that tree, and then you'll hit the bird, and he's going to run and chase you and fall right off that cliff. And that's going to give you about 11,000 runes, just like that. It took like 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Rest again, and get up, and just go over there, and he should be right there all ready to go. And then you just shoot him again. Again, this whole process takes about 6 or 7 seconds, so you're getting about 11,000 runes for every 6 or 7 seconds, which is awesome, which gives you around 60 to 65 to 70,000 runes per minute. It's about, I guess, 66,000. Sometimes he doesn't fall off all the time. He'll like stop at the edge, and then if that happens, just rest again. But again, here's these Albinaurics. I'll show you. If you're pretty low level, it'll take a while to kill them, so it's not as efficient as the other way. If you have a high level AoE spell that you can use, then use that, and it'll work really great. something like the Horfos Stomp works really well, especially if you have that upgraded really high on a weapon and you have Horfos Stomp. That works really well here. Later on, at the very end of the game, if you beat the Elden Beast and get the sword from the Elden Beast, that has an AoE effect that pretty much rips all these guys, every one of these guys in one shot, which is awesome, and makes it super. This makes this farming area really profitable if you still want to farm after beating the game, that is. So anyway, there you go. This is a really cool location. Again, we are in the Mohgwyn Palace area, and this is the Palace Approach Ledge Bridge, and you can get here really, really early on in the game, and you can use this as a really great farming location. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for another video. Take care, everyone.